Please welcome to the Slip and Dip podcast, making a Slip and Dip debut, WBA welterweight champion Keith, one-time Thurman, who will be taking on future Hall of Famer Manny Pacquiao July 20th. Do you think this is going to be Manny's last fight after y'all get done?
I mean, look, we've seen fighters fight, forever. Nobody can really make a fighter stop fighting. But most fighters, they don't have an exit strategy, And, some fighters, they're addicted to the game. But I believe that if I put these hands on Manny Pacquiao in the right way, he says, only God can tell him when to retire. But I think if these hands hit him in the right way, backstage, God gonna have that conversation with him, let him know that you already achieved greatness and that there's nothing further to be had. And I applaud him for taking this fight because it just shows what kind of champion Manny Pacquiao truly is, because he's going after another world title. For those who really understand Pacquiao's history, he never held the Super WBA championship because Floyd Mayweather held it and he was unable to defeat Floyd Mayweather. So if he was able to defeat me, he would attain not just another world title, but a title that he's never held in his life before. So I'm pretty sure he is inspired even at this stage, not only to prove that he can still bang with the best welterweights in the world, but, trying to further his legacy. But I believe that, his fight with Adrian Broner was too easy. And when he got out of that in his interview, they said, "How do you feel, Manny?" He said, "I feel good. I didn't get punched in my face. Didn't take no body shots. I'll fight again." If he takes punches to the face, gets hit to the body, does he want to fight again? That's my question. You know what I mean? He didn't get hit. When I hit you, how you gonna feel? What kind of interview you gonna give after that one? You know what I mean? I mean, it's a fight, and it's gonna be a real fight.
Do you think for those hardcore boxing fans that say oh, he picked Keith because he was the easier fight out of him and Earl, because when he came to the AT&T when Earl got done beating Mikey, he came in the ring, he didn't look like he wanted none of that smoke. So does he do? What do you think to those people? It's like he picked Keith because he thought he was easier.
Man, I was overseas, man. I knew that fight wasn't happening. I knew I had my name on that fight,
Well, talk about, did you see the post fight? His body language, he looked at like, nah, I don't want this.
Look, to be honest, I don't think there's any fight in the top 5 for Manny Pacquiao that's an easy fight. Pacquiao versus Porter, not easy. Pacquiao versus Danny Garcia, not easy. Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman. Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. This is why I say this might be his last fight. Can he really fight with all of us? Can he really compete? You know what I mean? I'm going to find out soon. We're going to get a glimpse in what level he's at, if he's trying to be at this level, at this stage, 2019, at 40 years old. I mean, he's a legend. He's always going to be a legend. He's well respected. He deserves respect. Even if I knock him out, he's still going to get respect. It doesn't matter. Manny Pacquiao is who he is. He's built himself from the bottom to the top. But does he belong at the top of boxing today? That's the talk. That's the controversy. And your boy is covering it with these hands right here. Okay? We're covering the topic.
Yeah. So do you think, with what you're saying, Manny's already got his legacy set, he is who he is at this point in his career? Do you think that's going to be an excuse that people use? If you go out there and starch him, put him on his canvas, people are going to be like, oh, he's already a legend. It doesn't really matter. He's at the end of his career. Are you worried about getting that kind of response if you go out there and do what you say you're going to do?
Nah, at the end of the day, this is an opportunity, and I've only had very few in my career, to outperform Floyd Mayweather, right? He doesn't exist in the world of boxing anymore, but we all remember, because it wasn't that long ago. We do remember Floyd Mayweather and all that he was able to accomplish. And he ran away from Manny Pacquiao. He would not engage. He was not training with Manny Pacquiao. You know, I have an opportunity to outperform one of the greats. I have an opportunity to beat one of the greats. But at the end of the day, I don't think people are going to make a lot of excuses for Manny Pacquiao. They can come back and try, but look at his IG feed right now. Anytime he hits the bag, they're just like, fire, 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 man, fire, fire. Oh, they're like, oh, snap. Oh, snap, Pac. Look at Pac. Oh, snap. That boy quick. That boy quick. You know, I mean, he still is fast at 40 years old. He had a great performance against Adrian Broner. You can't take nothing away from him. If you know, like everybody knows, my name is One Time, and I tell people, I can get one timed. Any fighter can get one timed, you know? The fans show up because they're looking for that one time. That's why I'm glad I took the name. Nobody else gets the name, you know what I mean? I think one time represents boxing to the fullest. But I want to make a big statement in this fight. I'm really happy to be back at the forefront in the beautiful sport of boxing at this beautiful moment right now where boxing is doing so well. We're getting a lot of press, a lot of different talk. There's so many different avenues and people that want to be involved in boxing. Boxing is doing so good, they even came out with bare knuckles boxing. You know, I mean, it just is what it is, man.
Elaborate more on that, Keith. We've talked in Vegas, we talked in LA, we've talked in New York, Texas about you got getting the opportunity from when you was 2013 when you were not the super. I want to say, was it WBA or IBF? That was WBA.
Regular champ. Yeah, WBA regular. Floyd was the super.
Yeah, and like people like, yeah, but he ain't fighting Floyd. And then you were calling on everybody, and then you finally got your unification with Danny and Sean, and they finally had to give you some respect. Do you think now that this will put you up there where they have to respect your name? So we look 10 years from now, Keith One Time Thurman was one of the best at 147 to do it.
Oh, definitely, man. You know, I asked for these fights 6 years ago.
Yeah, you were. I
can
vouch for that. We had conversations.
I was 24 years old. And I tell people, you know, Manny Pacquiao could never beat Keith Thurman. It's just not the style, you know. I'm not Timothy Bradley, you know. At the end of the day, I'm really grateful for this opportunity because Pacquiao is the last living legend. And we just don't know how much more he's going to give to the sport of boxing. And we see so much young talent. You know, it would shock the world if Manny Pacquiao was to be at the top and dominate, you know, for the next 2 years. It would shock the world, you know. There's a lot of people who support him, and there's people who think that I'm going to lose. They think that I've lost my flame, my fire. They think I've always been overrated. You know, it is what it is. I beat Danny Garcia. He was undefeated. I beat Sean Porter. He only had one loss at the time to Kell Brook. At the end of the day, I fight the best welterweights in the world. I've beaten every welterweight out there. Then we got Manny Pacquiao, and then there's only two other welterweights that I haven't stepped in the ring with. You know, so it's all just a matter of time. And I look forward to getting those opportunities just as much as I look forward to this opportunity July 20th.
So would that be safe to say that you have to see an Earl Spence and a Terrence Crawford for you to feel that your career is complete, to find out who is the best?
I believe, you know, I don't see Crawford beating Spence, and I don't see Crawford beating myself. You know, I know there's people who argue against that, but I just believe he does not win the number one slot in the welterweight division. I do not believe he wins the number two slot in the welterweight division, you know, but I will give him the number three slot, you know, and I've seen it for a long time. I've seen what Spence has been doing. But I don't think there's anybody in the welterweight division that has the fight style and the proper ring IQ to defeat Errol Spence. You know, some people say he's really basic, but he's really basic because if you're a fundamentally basic fighter and it's solid, there's a lot of people can't beat that, you know? And why change up your style? But I believe that I have a lot in the ring. When I step into the ring, I can fight moving forwards. I can fight moving backwards. I move good side to side. I got a jab, you know, and I have I got that thing that makes me a little different, man. I'm a little awkward. I'm unorthodox. I'm not as basic as other fighters. And then I have heart of steel, you know. Errol Spence is very talented, but you know, I just believe that once again, when I'm in the ring, I believe I control the majority of the fight. I've done it throughout most of my career, and I believe that I'm going to continue to do it.
So if you could draw up the perfect scenario for you, you know, after the Manny Pacquiao fight, how would you like to go down this list of guys that are on this at the top of the rankings?
For me, I'm just really happy to have the biggest fight of my career. I'm really happy to be back in the sport of boxing after a 2-year layoff. So really, I just want to, you know, showcase my skill and talent and end this year off with a tremendous victory against Manny Pacquiao. Then going into 2020, the real question is, who has the WBC title? You know, it was my belt. I won it fair and square. Okay. And then they got to fight for it without facing me. I would love to have my title back. I've heard rumors that Errol Spence might be fighting Sean Porter. If that happens later this year, after the Pacquiao, I want to reunify my title. So if Spence really wants the fight, if he gets the title, I'm going after the title. I'm not going after a rematch with Sean Porter. I'm going after my world title. And I always told people that the day I fight Errol Spence, it's not going to be for one title. It's not going to be for 2 titles. It's going to be for 3 world titles, okay? Where I want to make history in the sport of boxing. When was the last time you've seen 2 undefeated welterweights fight for 3 world titles? Hit the Jeopardy button. Do do
Right,
do
right? Yeah, no kidding.
When you said he specified welterweights, is what threw me off.
Look,
Yeah.
it's never happened.
Yeah.
That's the truth. The truth is it's never happened, you know, and everybody knows that the welterweight division is one of the most stacked divisions that there is in the sport of boxing today. So I always said when big fights happen, the world needs to know that it's a big fight. 3 world titles, 2 undefeated champions. I mean, that's a mega fight. You know, I believe that I always wanted to be the champion that walks in the ring with 2 world titles. You know, I wanted to have both straps presented into the ring, fighting Errol Spence. But if he has both straps, that doesn't bother me at all. I want big fights. I'm looking for big fights. And if he doesn't fight Sean Porter, I'll fight Sean Porter, then I'll fight him. I'll go from a legend to a champion to another champion. Like I said, I want big fights. And I want to make history. And to me, that's how you make history.
Does it bother you the fact that he called you sometime Thurman, and a lot of people talk about you not looking as sharp when your tune-up fight against Josecito, or is that all water under the bridge because it doesn't matter come July 20th?
Well, it kind of doesn't matter, but, you know, I'd like to see you sit on your butt for 2 years and then get up and train for 8 weeks and tell me how good you look. You know what I'm saying?
Did you really train to do the full fitness without a trainer, like you were saying in the press conference?
Bro, I was at LA Fitness, bro. bro.
You're like, I don't even ask
bro.
You're crazy.
Bro.
Look.
Bro.
Look at that look.
By myself, okay? By myself. I fought a dog. By myself. No strength and conditioning coach. It didn't motivate me. You know, I was happy to get back into the ring. You know, I was nervous about making weight. You know, 2 years of inactivity in itself is a depressing state for the human body, okay? Being inactive, all right? I'm a professional athlete. I'm a multi-million-dollar fighter, and I got to sit on the bench. I can't make no money. I can't live out my dreams. I can't live the lifestyle that I've set for myself. That's painful, man. I ain't talk about it a lot because I'm not that kind of guy. But it's painful. And I know there's people out there that can relate. I know that there's athletes that get injured in college and never can go pro. You know?
Keith, do you think fans don't realize? Like, I know that y'all have like a competitiveness. You, Sean, Earl, everybody wants to be the best. But at the end of the day, people don't realize that y'all all winning in life. From all y'all circumstances have been challenging to get to where y'all at. Do you think people don't realize that y'all winning their life and y'all representing brothers on a positive light? All three of y'all.
Like I always say, I'm not afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. I'm going to see you in the ring. If you can beat me, beat me. I remember when I got beat, I was an amateur. I remember, you know. At the end of the day, what matters for me is that I put my best foot forward. And against Jose Cito Lopez, that wasn't my best foot forward. Let's say in the 7th round when he caught me, let's say he really caught me slipping, and he didn't even put me down. But let's say he didn't just put me down, he put me out. You know, I would have went to that post fight and I would have said, you know, I brought it on to myself, because the way I'm training today is not the way I trained for that fight. Now, it was not to disrespect Jose Cito Lopez. I just knew that I could rely on my boxing ability and my fundamental skill set. I just knew I was the better athlete. I knew I was the better boxer. I knew that I was going to come out on top. And I proved that. And I brushed the dust off while I did it. And he showed me what it means to be champion, because I had to show the world what kind of champion Keith Thurman is. It's the type that doesn't give up. And I've shown it to you before when I had a hematoma. I showed it to you before when I took the body shot from Luis Collazo. I've shown this many times in my career. Being a champion is not just about dishing out the work, but being able to take it as well. You know, and I've done it multiple times throughout my career, and I'm going to keep doing it and keep having exciting fights. But win, lose, or draw, I'm living out a dream. You can't take that from me. I started at the age of 7. This is 23 years in the making. What were you doing 23 years ago? You know, this is 23 years in the making, man. Yeah, Errol, Sean, Danny, Keith Thurman, Adrian Broner, we're all successful fighters. We have different degrees of success within the industry, but we all are successful.
So what do you think about this? It seems to be like the narrative that's going around in boxing these days is like, if anybody has any loss on their record, because at some point all of you guys are going to meet each other. Somebody's going to take an L at some point, right? Like you said a minute ago, you know, if you can take my O, take it. But it seems like if you catch that L, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, everybody wants to see you wash now. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. When you're fighting a guy in Pacquiao, they're still considering the best. He's got 7 losses on his record. So what do you think about this narrative? It's like if you catch one loss, it's over for you.
You know, the world got hypnotized by Floyd Mayweather. You know, that's what I think happened. I think Floyd presented a story of never being defeated, and people, for whatever reason, because he was the king of the welterweight division, they thought that that's the blueprint on how boxing should be. But if you look out through the history of boxing, not only is that not how it should be, but that's not how it ever was.
Right, exactly.
It never was like that.
No.
It was never like that.
No.
You know? This dude would get beat a lot of times. Once again, training camps. Okay, you underestimate your opponents, they come get you. Joshua, you underestimate people, they get you. All right. Now that don't mean that you can't get your get back. Right.
Right.
You know, they know this in the streets. You catch me slipping, I might have to get my get back. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, isn't that what a fight's all about? You know, but when you win and you win and you win and you win, the real question is, when you lose, who did you lose to? Mm-hmm. That's the question, right? So let's bring up Sean Porter. Sean Porter has lost to 2 world champions, and he is a current champion and a 2-time world champion. Is he a nobody? Is he washed up? You know, he's in his prime. He's 30 years old. You know, it's not about, to me, a fighter's washed up. Let's say maybe it's later on in their career. You know, Robert Guerrero tried to get back into the sport of boxing and he got beat. You know, I mean, I would never disrespect Robert Guerrero by calling him washed up. I would never do that. But other people would. But that is the moment where their comment holds more weight. You understand? If you're losing to world champions that are ranked in the top 5 or possibly even the top 10, you're not truly washed up. You know, I just believe that boxing critics are highly critical, and they forget that we are not just professionals, but this is an art. This is a skill set. We acquired the skill and the trait to be world-class fighters. And taking a loss doesn't take my skills away from me. Okay? I believe Anthony Joshua can get his get back. I believe he can. And there's a lot of people who think maybe he can't. They think after they saw the way he got beat up that he's overranked and all this stuff. I always thought he was a little green. I'll admit that. I always thought he was a little green. I don't think he belongs in Miami doing training camps. I don't know too many people that do well in training camps in Miami. If you know anything about Miami, okay? It's a party town. It's a party town. And heavyweights don't have to make weight. Hey, champ, come out here, champ. Hey, champ, come see this. And you from London, mate. You in America, mate. Of course you're going to want to see some pretty things, okay? Of course you're going to want to go down to the beach, man, and go take a nice little jog and then go, you know, talk to the locals, a.k.a. little shorties or whatever. It's easy to get distracted, man. I don't know. I don't really know what kind of training camp he had, but when I see a performance and I see a fighter who lacks in their performance, I instantly think they lacked in their preparation for that fight. It's not that he doesn't have skills. And he dropped Luis first. He was the first one to create a knockdown. So how are people going to say that he can't win the fight when he was the first one that almost had the fight won to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
100%.
Can you tell me this?
I just work really hard in my life to not put myself in the position to where I got to get you back because I got you off rip, right? I'm gonna get you off. I'm getting you off rip. Sean Porter, he tried to bring it. He tried to bring it to me. I sat down in the 8th round. Look, I'm gonna take a seat right now. I sat down in the 8th round, and we're getting ready for the 9th round. Coach is giving me water. I said one thing to myself. I said, I don't care who you are. You cannot score this fight without giving one fighter 4 rounds and the other fighter the other 4 rounds. I don't care how you do it, but this is a draw right now. I said, Keith, you ain't losing your world title. We can force a draw. We can play tic-tac-toe all day long. We can force a draw. I said, but we in Brooklyn, baby. You worked really hard for this. Nobody bought tickets to watch this fight come out to a draw. I said, you need to man up and you need to fight smart and do what you need to do for 4 rounds. This ain't a 12-round fight no more. This is a 4-round fight. I'm telling you, man, Keith Thurman is champion today, not just because of the heart, but it's the mindset that I bring into the ring. Skills pays the bills, but it's how you execute. There's the process of executing, making decisions, minor decisions. It's like every time you playing speed chess and somebody takes a pawn, you get slapped upside your head. You know what I'm saying? Everything's moving so fast, and there's consequences to be had. I look for patterns, I look for mistakes, and then I look to exploit those mistakes and those patterns within my 3-minute intervals. Okay? That's what boxing is about to me. It's about controlling every round 3 minutes at a time. That's why if you got me beat, I might just let you beat me because you beat me that round. You ain't beating me for this fight. Because I do get my get back after I lose a round. See, when I lose a round, Keith Thurman sits down and says, oh, damn, that didn't go the way you wanted it to go, did it? No, sir. So what are we going to do about it? Get that get back. We got a fresh round coming. Get that get back. Trust me. Watch my fights. Watch the tug of war. Watch my battles. I get my get back. And like I said, and I handle it right then and there. We don't have to get you back at another date. I just think boxing is at a very awkward state where there is a certain platform where the spectators, they like what they're reporting. That's why they keep reporting it. I don't think they're getting a lot of negative feedback. If they were getting a lot of negative feedback in the way us fighters get negative feedback, then they might change their approach and how they write about the sport of boxing. But like I said, man, at the end of the day, if you're on this stage, if you're the headliner of any card, you deserve respect, man. And there's a reason that you should be there. Earlier this year, not too long ago, Hurd lost in his hometown. He lost in his hometown. And I know J-Rock from the amateurs. I know J-Rock, So people seen J-Rock get beat, but what they don't understand is J-Rock always had skills. He always had skills. And even when he got beat, the fight that he got beat against the Charlo, he was in the fight. He was putting together some nice combinations from time to time. The boy can box. You can't underestimate people that are at the top, fighters that are in the top 10, because there's thousands of fighters in the world. If you're in the top 10, there's a reason why you're on that list. I remember when I hit number 10 and I called out Floyd, I called out Paulie Malignaggi, I was calling out any champion, because I knew deep down that I belong at the top. I belong at that number 1 spot. And if I'm not at the number 1 spot, then you better show me that number 1 dude, because I'm climbing. I'm climbing. And we know that Floyd had an agenda throughout his career, and he didn't want to fight too many young fighters. The last great fight of Floyd Mayweather, in my opinion, was against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. That was a great fight. Yeah. It was a risky fight. Number 1, it was risky. He very fought technical. The bigger dude. Very technical, too. Everybody says Canelo wasn't ready. That doesn't matter. Because I saw a right uppercut that was ready to knock Floyd out that he got, okay? I saw a right uppercut that was ready to knock Floyd out.
Yeah. You talking about when he went like this?
2 inches, Floyd, 2 inches over here. And I'm pretty sure that's why he never wanted to get in the rematch, because he knows he dodged some haymakers that day. But it's a beautiful sport, in my opinion. I've always loved boxing. Haters are motivators. You can't stop us. We are your entertainment. How many times people talk shit about Jay-Z, but then you're gonna go buy the album? We are your entertainment. You feel me?
Yes.
Right? Deontay Wilder, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. You know, it doesn't matter. Triple G, Canelo Alvarez, they can fight each other 10 times in a row. You guys are going to watch it. You understand? do you understand?
Facts.
Man, this is boxing. You either love it, you hate it. There's every once in a while, even Hollywood, every so many years they got to come out with a boxing movie. Why? Because the stories, man. Every fighter has such a unique story. The brother that just beat Joshua, his story is unique. He got a once in a lifetime opportunity, and he rose to the occasion. Shoot, my cousin's husband made $400 off a $20 bet. Come on now. I mean, there's people who love to root for underdogs. There's people who get attached to certain fighters. And for me, through my life experience, when I know a fighter, I'm always in their corner. If I'm not fighting Sean Porter, I'm cheering for Sean Porter. When I'm fighting Sean Porter, I cheer for myself. You feel me? That's just how it is. But if I'm not in the ring with him, I'm in his corner, man. You know, when you know a fighter, you back people harder. When I'm out here in the streets, when I'm down here in Florida, and I go get a salad, and I introduce myself to somebody, it could be an old couple. I make old people watch boxing again. You feel me? It could be an old couple. I shake their hand. I let them know what I do. I'm the current WBA welterweight champion of the world. They say, yeah, when you fighting, can you please write it down so I don't forget? You know what I mean? And then when they watch boxing again, they're glued to that TV because of the interaction they had, that real life interaction, you know? And there's many people who know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, I met, you know, Mares. I met this young fighter, you know, he said he was going to be on some undercard. It's his first TV fight. You know, once when you meet a fighter and you watch the fighter, you know, you're forever a fan. You're forever a fan. You know, boxing is a beautiful sport. We're continuously growing, and I'm just happy to be in this beautiful situation. I know I got a lot of haters. They're mad at me for being run time, sometime, once upon a time, now fighting a legend time. You know what I'm saying? So I always believed in myself, and that's why I am where I am today. You can't let people that want to bring you down, okay? You have to have faith. You got to have faith. Believe in yourself. And faith doesn't just come easy, but I worked really hard to be where I am today. And it's that hard work that makes me believe in myself. It's that hard work, which is why that I'm putting in today. I got to put in later today. And the hard work that I'm going to be putting in for the next 5.5 weeks, that makes me confident that Manny Pacquiao is going night-night. You know, you have to first believe to achieve. I believe that I can dominate this fight. I believe that I can hurt Manny Pacquiao. I am working very hard on my strength work. I'm going to prove that, you know, this isn't the Keith Thurman that fought Jose Cito Lopez. This is the Keith Thurman that fought Diego Chavez, okay? You was there, brother. You was there, you know? We fighting again. We fighting again. I got my feet, I can dance around them for days. One time, run time, it don't matter. They can't stop me, man. They can hate on me, but they can't stop me. They can't stop what I'm doing. They can't stop this legacy and everything that's in motion, man. So July 20th is just going to be a beautiful night of boxing. And I'm just really looking forward to stepping on that stage back at the MGM Grand, man. It's been many years since I've been back there. And I'm just looking forward to putting on a great fight for the fans and sharing the ring with a future Hall of Famer and a legend, Manny Pacquiao.
No
Appreciate
better way
it,
to
man.
end it, man.
That's the way to end it, man.
100%.
Appreciate you coming on, man. I've been trying to get with your team and trying to get you on for like the last couple of months, man. But can you make us a promise when you get your hand raised and you get certified as you come back on? We have a motto on the slip and dip. You ball, you get the call. So when you ball on July 20th, we'll get you on within a week or so after the fight. Give us a recap of how you got that latest win to go to 30-0.
Sounds good, brother. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait for it, man. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
All good, man. Thanks for the support. Y'all boys take care.